We reached the end of the 2014 regular season. This is week 17. Let's see if we can't make a little bit of money this week before turning our attention to the playoffs. 3 games I like in this week 17, all 3 favorites. Let's get right to them, shall we? Starting with the Miami Dolphins, a 6.5-point home favorite against the New York Jets. I am on Miami here, and look, I realized I bet against the Jets last week and was wrong there. The Jets have been pretty competitive in their last few games. Miami meanwhile, 0-4 against the number in their last 4. The Dolphins not playing as well on defense as they were early in the season. They've actually surrendered 104 combined points in their last 3 games. However, this week they're facing the inept New York offense. The Jets producing just 16.3 points per game this season. When these teams met a few weeks ago, remember a 16-13 Miami win, the Jets were really able to run the ball effectively on this Miami defense. I have a feeling the Dolphins aren't going to let that happen this time around. Really feel like they're going to gang up on the running game and force Jets quarterback Geno Smith to beat him. I do not think Smith is going to be able to do so. The Dolphins, a rousing win over the Minnesota Vikings last week, really put an end to a time of negativity in Miami. For a time, it looked like they were going to be a playoff team. They struggled a bit, fell out of playoff contention, looked like they were going to lose at home to the Vikings, but that block punt at the end of the game to pull out a 2-point victory. And then a few days later, owner Stephen Ross announced that he was retaining head coach Joe Philbin next season. Now that news appeared to make the players in Miami happy, so I think there's some positivity around this Miami franchise right now. They're at home, the final game of the season, against a division rival that is terrible on the offensive side of the ball. I think the Dolphins win here and win big. I like them as a 6.5-point favorite. Next game I'd like to talk about, the Green Bay Packers hosting division rival Detroit. Green Bay, a 7.5-point favorite on BETDAQ. And again, I am with the favored Packers here. Now this, a big game in the NFC North. The winner wins the North and gets a first-round postseason bye. The loser still makes the playoffs, but they have to go on the road in Wild Card weekend. So a crucial game for both teams here. And yes, Detroit did beat Green Bay the last time these teams played, 19-7. But that was way back in Week 3, and that game was in Detroit. The Packers have been unbeatable at home this season, 7-0. They're averaging over 40 points per game. I know the Lions have been good defensively, but they're only average in the secondary, so I think this Green Bay offense is going to get it rolling here, and the Lions just aren't going to be able to keep up. Detroit, really bad on the offensive side of the ball, 22nd in points scored. They've scored 24 points or fewer in 12 of their 15 games this year. And this Green Bay defense, I don't know if you've noticed over the past few weeks, but they've started playing some good football. They now rank 12th in both total defense and yards allowed after really struggling in both categories early in the season. I think this sets up for a Green Bay blowout. Like them, minus 7.5. Think they win this game going away. Final game I'd like to talk about in this Week 17. The San Francisco 49ers hosting division rival Arizona. The Niners a 7-point favorite. And yes, I'm with the home team once again here. Look, I realize Arizona 11-4, and they need this game to have a chance at winning the NFC West. The Niners, meanwhile, 7-8. They've lost 4 straight. They're led by a lame duck head coach in Jim Harbaugh. I don't care. I've been watching this Arizona team over the past few weeks. They are awful on the offensive side of the ball. They're going with Ryan Lindley at quarterback here. Lindley has shown in his brief time in the NFL that he is clearly not ready for this level of football, and he's facing a San Francisco defense that ranks 5th in the league in yards allowed. Unless you think the Niners have just laid down and quit on the season, I'm not sure how you have any faith in the Arizona offense here. After all, the Cardinals have scored fewer than 20 points in 6 consecutive games. Even though they're good on the defensive side of the ball, for them to stay within 7 here, I really believe they're going to have to hold the San Francisco offense below, 17 points. I think if the Niners can reach 17 points, I think they'll safely cover the 7-point number, and I think they're going to do so, even though I expect the total of this game to come in below 37. It's an incredibly low total at 37. I am looking at the under. I still think these Niners, who are favored by 7 points, going to win here. A lot of times with a 37-point total, if you like the under, you would naturally like the underdog, the team getting 7 points. Because if the Niners are going to cover in this game and the total is going to come in below 37, that means the Cardinals are going to hardly score at all, which is exactly what I think is going to happen. The San Francisco defense very well may outscore the Arizona offense in this game. Zero confidence in Ryan Lindley and the Cardinals. And by the way, I'll just go ahead and put in my bet against the Cardinals next week in the first round of the playoffs, regardless who they play. I'm going to fade the Arizona Cardinals with every bone in my body for the remainder of this season. Starting this week, I like San Francisco -7. There you have it. Those are my 3 best bets for this week 17. I like Miami -6.5 at home against the New York Jets. I like the San Francisco 49ers -7 at home against Arizona. And I like the Green Bay Packers -7.5 against the Detroit Lions. I wish you best of luck in whatever you decide to do in this week 17, just so long as your interests don't conflict with my interests.